All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business today. See if we see that it has BSS, aka boudoir search sameness, with these two Google searches here. We're back in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that in the pin video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC in white here. Highest intent people on the left, it's people using social search, Google search, searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And we focus on them with the videos we make here about BSS, closest to the money, highest conversion rate. And way over on the right is the lowest intent people. They ain't searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And most of them don't even know what the heck boudoir is. But we reach them through interruption ads, through Facebook, Instagram. Talk about these things over on our, talk about BLCS over on our sister channel, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, it's when it's boudoir search sameness. So it's when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And when this occurs, 0 slots, trash, our business will be dying pretty fast. 0 slots page 1 means we're only on page 2 or deeper, and we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So from page 2, 80% of approximately 80% of searches are page 1 and done searches. That means if we're on page 2 or deeper, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the market, aka the bulk of the market, bulk of the buyers. Once on Google, no bueno either, because we're looking the same as everyone else. There's 10 organic slots page 1 on Google. So if it's us, 10 boudoir photographers total, we're one of them. 9 other peeps got 1 link on Google, and guess what? Guess what a buyer's doing? Well, guess what approximately 80% of boudoir buyers are doing? They're just clicking every link down page 1, open everyone's website, filling out everyone's contact form, getting price quotes, price shop and price compare, and driving margins to 0, negotiating, all that stuff. Never even hitting page 2. So, we're kind of constrained there with the number of competitors we'll actually be compared against. And 0, 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. So yes, it's common. Yes, it's accepted. But to have such few slots page 1 on Google, not normal. It means something's seriously broken. Those 2 deeper root causes are, number 1, market saturation. Yeah, basically everyone knows this. This is when more and more boudoir photographers enter the marketplace over time. And yeah, it's because peeps get new gear, new iPhone, new camera over time. They throw up their Google My Business profile, and when they do that, they're also throwing up a website saying they offer boudoir, competing to now rank on page 1 Google search. They're posting in mom groups saying they now offer boudoir, and on and on. So more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller, aka every boudoir photographer. Now, this happened a big way during COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs, but everyone had to still earn money. So people actually still, thrust in the market, become a boudoir photographer. Now, number 2, the false belief of page 1 equality. This is a big one. This one, boudoir photographers kind of automatically believe that, each and every boudoir photographer gets at least 0, 1 slots page 1 on Google. And as a result, maybe they're slot 9 on page 1. Then some market saturation happened. Then there's slot 1 on page 2. Like, well, some other peeps entered the market. Their website's ranked above me. That's fine. But let's, hopefully they delete their websites and Google stops indexing them so then I can come back on to page 1. But no, this, passive, hopefully it happens for me. No, 100% incorrect. I know for a fact that Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots on Google as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days with this new methodology we developed. Finally, a boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So if we got 0 slots on page 1, we're invisible to approximately 20% of peeps who view page 2 and deeper. Yep, we're definitely disappearing. If we got 1 slot on page 1, we're basically invisible, same as everyone else. Being compared against everyone else, margins collapsing, and going to happen more and more as AI takes more people's jobs. So disappearing boudoir photographer, it's like the warning light, like the warning symbol of, if we are disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS, that means our boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we discovered the solution. We discovered that BSS is actually treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And it works exactly like it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with its highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there when people search them. And the way this works, this is kind of like, it's basically like down on the Andes Mountains in South America. Think about the backside, the eastern side. When it snows up there, eventually the snow melts into small streams, small rivers. Eventually all that snow melts, runs out the mountains, flows into the Amazon River. The Amazon River is page 1 of Google search. That is the Amazon River. And so what's amazing about this is it all starts with the snow up at the top of the Andes Mountains. And so the snow up at the top of the Andes Mountains is S-cubed methodology. That's how we get the snow there. Everything flows downstream from that. And the one thing I like about S-cubed methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to successfully, actually have a chance to fight out back against market saturation in a relatively quick time frame. Still have a chance to actually grow the business, even as more boudoir photographers enter the market. The only other thing I've seen that actually enables that is having a large, well-known brand. But those take 5 to 10 years to acquire. We ain't got 5 to 10 years anymore. AI is taking people's jobs. We need to start dominating now. So S-Cube's methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to do that. And by my estimates, I believe it actually enables a boudoir photographer to become a large, well-known brand in their area, approximately 8x faster than normal methods, because we're basically showing up on so many different surfaces, so much more frequency, become well-known so much faster. So that's where my approximately 8x estimation comes in. All right, now an example. Let's say, so we're going to say right now, we are in Sacramento, California, and there's 1 million boudoir photographers there total. We're one of them. Everyone's got their websites and they shoot boudoir, and everyone's trying to rank page 1 on Google. It's like, man, this place is insanely competitive. We don't have time to build a brand. We gotta, basically we got to start getting results ASAP, as fast as possible here, AFAP. And so we're like, all right, S-cube methodology is the only thing that can help out here. We got to crank this thing up to the max. So let's say we're able to rank for the first 300 slots, social search for all the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city. And let's say that flows over onto Google, or we take the first 300 organic slots, and it's 10 organic slots per page on Google. So we're taking up basically the first 30 pages. And so people don't have to scroll like slot 301 to find any of our competitors, or basically go to page 31 on Google. And so in this scenario, where we're the first 300 slots, basically anywhere searches online, whose boudoir photography business will be growing in this situation? Most likely ours. Whose boudoir photography business will be shrinking / disappearing? Most likely all of our 999,999 competitors, because buyers can't even find them. We're taking up all these slots. So this is an example kind of this is the ultra most extreme case of what could happen utilizing S-cube methodology, but it's good to understand it. Now, one street with S-cube methodology, we have page 1 visibility. Initial benefit, yeah, we get more slots page 1 on Google. A lot of boudoir photographers actually like this next initial benefit, which is every new slot we get page 1 on Google, actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page 1, effectively making them invisible. Because now they're on page 2 or deeper, and guess what? We already know approximately 80% of Google searches never ever even hit page 2. So a lot of boudoir photographers actually like that. We can control how many of our competitors are invisible. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. This is where we got the GBC Universe recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google. That's the number that's recommended because if everyone's got 1 slot, all right, we're dominating them because we got 3. If everyone, maybe they're ultra rare case, somebody else has 2 slots, yeah, well, our 3 slots still dominate them. So GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So, got our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. It's fine, we now have a solution, S cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility and we become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now my results utilizing S cubed methodology for myself. I wanted to rank and dominate Google page 1 for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. So I used S cubed methodology. Let's see my results. So let's see, organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And slot 10, me. Now, I'm from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days, purely utilizing S cubed methodology. So now we're going to look at this boudoir photography business. I'm going to check. So all this is based on the Google page 1 searches here. So we got these 2 Google searches. Let's check these out. So first one, we got boudoir photographer. Is that the first one? No, I think. Oh no, St. Augustine should be the first one. I gotta do St. Augustine here. Boudoir photography, St. Augustine. St. Augustine. And there we go. All right, so let's see what we got here. Look for a supernova, there we go. So we got, they got 1 slot. And, all right, we got 2 slots here, wedding wire. Yeah. We do not have BSS, so we got 2 slots here, that's fine. That's good, we perfect. Now we've not hit the GBC minimum. We want to have 3 out of 10 here, but hey, we do not have BSS for the search, so that's good. Now we want to hit the GBC 3 out of 10 minimum because that's kind of the only safe time we can say, hey, we're not going to disappear, we're not going to decline. We may not grow, but we'll probably at least tread water. So no BSS, but we're not hitting the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 here. Let's check our Jacksonville, Florida. All right, so still looking for the same supernova. So we got 1. And nope. All right, none of these are specifically about us only. We got 1 out of 10. So we got BSS for the second search at Jacksonville, Florida. Bigger city, so BSS is more common in the bigger cities, obviously, more keyword competition. So we do not have BSS for St. Augustine, Florida. That's good, but we did not meet the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. But we do have BSS for the Jacksonville, Florida search, and we also did not hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. All right, so if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local and city searches already for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, and you've seen that you have either 0 or 1 slots for at least one of them, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots for at least one of them. And so you're saying you got BSS boudoir search sameness. You understand that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. Google actually gives us many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And your chain S-key methodology is the only method that can get us that many slots in that short of a time frame. And you like the initial benefits, more page 1 slots Google search, and also you really like the other initial benefit, kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1 Google search, effectively putting them on page 2 or deeper, effectively making them invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. You think that's pretty cool. And you're thinking ahead, you understand market saturation, yeah, more peeps trickle into the marketplace as they get new gear, yeah. But you're also looking ahead, you're seeing, wow, AI is already taking a bunch of people's jobs, and it's actually going to be taking more and more people's jobs in the future as it gets better and better. So what actually needs to happen is you're actually seeing, wow, actually a much larger wave of boudoir photographers is going to be entering the marketplace over time, up over and above the peeps that are coming because of upgraded gear. And you're realizing you actually need to fortify your position on page 1 Google search. And essentially, there's so many links that Google can't even rank all your links page 1 on Google search, and now you're starting to stuff page 2, 3, and 4. Basically fortify your position, basically guarantee no current boudoir photographer ever has any chance to rank page 1, and basically guarantee no future boudoir photographer that enters the marketplace after AI takes their job has any chance of sitting on page 1 or ranking on page 1 either. So fortifying your position, basically like fortifying the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city is below sea level. So got to fortify it against the ocean. And genetic methodology is the only solution to do this, the only path forward to do this, because you also want to achieve page 1 visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, and have boudoir search visibility, because you need these things on your path to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like the future benefits of utilizing SQ methodology successfully every day, which are we're building up these, initial or invisible thematic keyword columns, kind of like plugged in to our brand, all around our brand, for the specific keywords that we're trying to rank for. And as we do this more and more, we're increasing our repetition, relevance, frequency, authority, and age of all those invisible thematic keyword columns around us, plugged into us. Our name, our business name, our brand names, our social handles, all kind of existing out there on the internet. And you understand every day we increase kind of the power of these, or the frequency of these, or the volume of these, are actually increasing the probability we're ranked up here in the top recommend AI overview, because we're building this backend AI mindshare with doing all these things. As we grow our AI mindshare through successfully executing SQ methodology every day, also increasing the probability every single day AI search recommends us. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, all comes increased probability to be recommended there from executing SQ methodology successfully every single day. And AI search growing every single day, more and more people using it every single day. And AI, last time I used AI to search for boudoir photographers in a city, I was using ChatGPT, and I searched in a city for boudoir photographers, and it gave me 3. And then I went to actually look, how many, kind of a manual search, Google manual and Facebook manual search, and dude, I found like 60. It's like, man, we got to find any way possible to get in one of these 3 AI search slots, and we're seeing SQ methodology provides exactly what the AI wants to see. These invisible thematic keyword columns, all attributed to our brand, increasingly over time. You also like in the future benefit of, we can grow to be a large, well-known brand area, and perhaps even larger than our immediate radius, approximately 8x faster than traditional methods. You also like in that my current plan is to work with only one boudoir photographer per city, so you're liking you can get all these benefits and actually prevent all your competitors from getting these benefits at the same time. Actually give you a chance to get your links page 1, build up the back kind of the supply of backlinks that could be on page 1 but are actually stuck on page 2, 3, and 4, and fortify your position, build up your AI mindshare momentum in the back end with all these invisible thematic keyword columns being applied to you and your brand, and just really put a massive gap between you and every other single competitor in your city, or essentially they'll never even be able to catch up. So you're liking all that, and you decide to be a first mover in your city to adopt this technology because you understand the converse scenario, which is if one of your boudoir photographer competitors signs out with me first, they get all those links on page 1, you're getting kicked out to page 2, 3, and 4 deeper, becoming super invisible, definitely disappearing. Your business is on the path to disappearing. We're fortifying your competitor's position. We're building up their AI mindshare in the back end with their invisible thematic keyword columns that feed into the kind of AI, brain on the internet. And we're building a massive gap between me and your competitor and you. And the only way you could compete, since I can't work with you, is you'd have to rederive SQ methodology on your own. You would then have to, you'd never actually be 100% confident you've rederived it correctly. And you'd have to execute it successfully every single day. And once you did that, all that would happen is you'd be maintaining the current gap me and your competitor have on you, because we're also doing it every single day. And so to gain on us, you would have actually double and triple executing us every single day, which you'd probably not feel confident putting in the time into, because again, you would not be 100% confident you've even derived the system, the technology correctly in the first place. And let's say you did all that, you'd have to do, who'd even have 80 hours a day to do all this stuff? So you decide to screw all that. You decide to be the first mover in your city. Don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Well, our DMs are currently closed, but shoot us that's because the hospital is currently closed for new patient intake. But when we do open our doors, shoot us a DM and we'll see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.